Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, guys. So what I have for you guys today is going to be another episode of the Championship Transfer Rumour Roundup, and my word, in this video here today we have some exceptional rumours which are going on in the Championship at this point in time. Literally, some of the people being linked to Championship clubs at the moment is pretty ridiculous, if I have to say so. So if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like, because I just can't believe this is happening, really. Also as well, make sure you do go ahead and check out yesterday's video. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. Basically what that was, we simulated what FIFA 17 thinks will happen for next year's Championship season, and it was a pretty interesting video to say the least. But enough of that, let's go ahead and get into some completed transfers first of all. So talking about some completed transfers since the last time I did do one of these videos, Josh Scowen has completed his move to Queen's Park Rangers. Of course, last year he was playing his football at Barnsley, also did very well there. I think it's fair to say, you know, that Barnsley squad, when they got promoted with, did an exceptional job of their first season back in the Championship. It's just a shame really for Barnsley fans that that squad's so easily been dismantled, but Josh Scowen played a key part in that. He's a very tenacious midfielder, and I think he'll actually fit into QPR quite well. I was a little bit worried about QPR, really. I'm not sure how they'll do next season. I mean, with Ian Holloway, things could really go either way, but if the signing of Josh Scowen is an intent of further things to come from QPR, then they might be okay. Another player who has left Barnsley is also Mark Roberts. This time the centre-back has completed the transfer to Birmingham. So Birmingham, definitely another club who have been quite busy in this transfer window so far. High Redknapp really seeming to go in on this market and really looking to improve this squad from last season. But Mark Roberts, an excellent acquisition for Birmingham, really wherever he did end up, because he was being linked to quite a few other Championship clubs. He would have done a solid job for them, in my opinion. You know, he was one of the standout players last season for Barnsley, and once again, it's just a shame that they've not been able to keep hold of some of their star men. So Barnsley fans, are you a little bit worried going into this season now, because seemingly all your big players seem to be leaving? However, one player who has come into Barnsley is Friars, who is arriving from Crystal Palace. The 24-year-old left-back will look to bolster their numbers, you know, after seemingly they're having everyone walk out the door at this point in time. But, you know, it does fit into their model. So far, I think it's fair to say that Barnsley have brought in a lot of young talent who hasn't really been all too much proven in the Championship so far. So I know that is the model at the club, but you'd think, I suppose, with some of the players going out, they've got quite a bit of money, you know, from like the Hurahan deal, the Winnall deal, Mark Roberts leaving, and some of their other players as well. You'd think they'd go out and reinvest that into maybe some more Championship proven players, but that's just my opinion on the topic. Tom Adeyemi has also completed the transfer. This time he is moving to Ipswich Town, of course. The former Norwich City player will now be playing for Ipswich next season. I actually do think this is actually a very good transfer. He was actually linked to a move to Norwich as well, but in the end chose to go to Ipswich. But last season he was out on loan at Rotherham, and in that struggling Rotherham side, he managed to go ahead and bag 6 goals from midfield. So I do think that's one thing that Ipswich were probably lacking a bit last season, goals from midfield. You know, it really just was Tom Lawrence last season for Ipswich. So to get Tom Adeyemi in behind, I think that will be a decent addition for them. And then finally, Will Buckley has completed the transfer to Bolton Wanderers. Will Buckley is actually a really interesting player, in my opinion. He's never really fulfilled his potential than what he showed in really quite a few years ago at Brighton. When he was at Brighton, he really did look like he had the potential to go on and be like a Premier League player, but he made the move to Sunderland, and injuries have played a part in why he's not been able to fulfill that. But he's had pretty unsuccessful loans out at Leeds, Birmingham and Sheffield Wednesday, so he'll be looking to revitalise his career at Bolton, and I think this could be the perfect move for him, actually. I think he's still got so much more to give, and I am looking forward to seeing what he can do at Bolton. So guys, there were all the completed transfers which have gone through since I last made a video. If you think I have left out anyone, let me know about them down below. But other than that, guys, let's now get into some transfer rumours. I mean, there's only one player I can start with. That is, of course, Ruben Neves, who is being linked with a move, heavily linked with a move to Wolves. Now, as I am recording this, apparently Wolves have agreed a deal with Porto for Ruben Neves. The fee believed to be in the region of 15 to 20 million, which is pretty mental, I think it's fair to say, for a championship club to be spending. However, when you consider today's current market and the player that Ruben Neves actually is, that actually is a pretty good deal for him, in my opinion. I mean, he's actually got a release clause of around about 40 million, I believe. The reason that Wolves could be getting him at a cut price is because of Porto's current financial difficulties with financial fair play, and it would seem that this would cover the basis for that. But a bit about Ruben Neves: he's the youngest ever Champions League captain, of course currently playing for Porto, the 20-year-old. He's a central midfielder who can either play as a defensive midfielder or as sort of like a deep line playmaker. I watched some of his stuff on YouTube and some different highlight reels of him, and wow, this guy looks talented. I mean, he offers so much. He's got that defensive capability. Tactically, he definitely seems to be tuned in. Going forward as well, he's a great playmaker, got a great eye for a pass, and some of the banging long shots he's scored for Porto in the past few years have been pretty exceptional. I mean, I'll bring up now the clubs he's currently being linked with. We're currently talking, as I'm recording this video, Juventus 16 to 1, Chelsea 11 to 2, Liverpool 9 to 2, and then Wolves 2 to 1. That is ridiculous, but it does look like he will be moving on to Wolves. I mean, of course, being that Portuguese link there with Jorge Mendes and Nuno being at the club, this would be an exceptional transfer for Wolves and just absolutely crazy. And then sticking with Wolves, they're actually being linked with a couple of other strikers as well as that. They're also being linked with Vincent Aboubakar, who also currently plays for Porto. He was last season, he was loaned out to Besiktas, where he managed to go ahead and bag 19 goals for them. I mean, Wolves are just completely raiding Porto at the moment, and it's just unbelievable to see. So what I do want to know from you guys is, if Wolves do manage to get all of these transfers over the line, do you think they will make the top 6 next season? Let me know down below. And then another transfer rumour regarding Wolves. We may as well just have a Wolves segment for this video, because they're being linked with just everybody at the moment. But another player being linked to Wolves is Benik Afobe, of course. He did used to play for Wolves not too long ago, completed that move to Bournemouth. However, they are now being linked with a move back to him, and with his time at Wolves, he was very successful. I know a lot of Wolves fans highly rate Benik Afobe. He managed to score 23 goals in the 2 seasons he was at Wolves, and that would be a welcome return if he did come back. But now, moving on from some of the Wolves rumours, we have some other clubs to talk about, and I mean, one transfer I just don't want to talk about, that is Aiden McGeady, who is being linked with a move to Sunderland. Of course, this was expected with Simon Grayson completing his move to Sunderland. It was always going to happen that McGeady was going to be linked with a move to Sunderland, and honestly, I can see this one happening. As much as it does pain me to say it, Sunderland will have the sufficient funds, you know, more than Preston North End, to be able to, first of all, afford the transfer fee, and as well as that, afford the player wages. And McGeady loved working under Grayson, and I think he'd do well at Sunderland, as much as it pains me to say it. Sunderland are also being linked with a move for Preston's Jordan Hugill, as well as our other clubs in the bid. Birmingham are also interested, and Reading as well have seemingly also come into the picture regarding Jordan Hugill. Now, with Jordan Hugill, he's sort of like Marmite with Preston fans. Some fans really do like him, and some fans really aren't his biggest fans. And I'd say I fall into the first category. I am a fan of Jordan Hugill. I think there's still more to come from him, but if he was to leave in something of the region of like 4 million upwards, I mean, I could live with that. I wouldn't lose sleep over it, really. Another interesting transfer rumour going on at the moment, one I don't really see as being too realistic, is JOTA, who is being linked with a move to Derby County, of course. At this point in time, Derby's main man, Tom Ince, is also being linked with a move to Huddersfield Town, and should that transfer go through, it has been reported that Derby could be interested in JOTA to replace Tom Ince. I mean, that would be a great bit of business by Derby, in my opinion, to replace Tom Ince with JOTA, but in my opinion, the fee that Brentford will probably want to him to sell to a direct championship rival probably would be too much. Johnny Howson is also still being linked with a move away from Norwich City. The two clubs currently interested in him, Leeds United, are also still interested, like I did say in my last video, but now Middlesbrough as well are reportedly interested in Johnny Howson. I mean, Middlesbrough are just interested in everyone pretty much at the moment, as they're also being linked with a move for Sam Johnson. Sam Johnson as well being linked with a move back to Aston Villa. However, Premier League opposition are also coming up for him. Apparently Crystal Palace are also interested in the signing of Sam Johnson. I mean, is he good enough for the Premier League? Probably not, in my opinion. I'm a bit surprised that he has been linked to Crystal Palace, maybe as a number 2, but I think at this point in time in Sam Johnson's career, he no longer wants to be a number 2 or 3. He's been at Man United for far too long, in my opinion, and it is now that he needs to be getting first team football. So either a move to Aston Villa or Middlesbrough would suit Sam Johnson, in my opinion. A transfer rumour which didn't really surprise me too much when I did see it was Stevie May has been linked with a move away from Preston and back to Scotland, with Aberdeen being interested. And reportedly Aberdeen will have to wait to see if who Preston actually get as the manager, to wait and see if this transfer would go through. If it did go through, I would be quite disappointed, to be honest. You know, we've not really seen what Stevie May is capable of doing. You know, I think I've only seen him play 3 matches, if that, for Preston. Of course, he broke his leg last year, which ruled him out for the whole of the first season he was with Preston, and pretty much the most of that. You know, he only played 1 game last season, which he did manage to get a pretty decent goal in, but I'd be disappointed if I did see May go. I'd like to see him given a chance in pre-season. Diego Roland is being linked with the move to Fulham at this point in time. However, they do face stiff competition from Fenerbahce for the Ligue 1 striker. Last season in Ligue 1, he managed to go ahead and bag 10 goals. I think at this point in time, Fulham are definitely in need of a striker, and this would be pretty phenomenal if they did pull off a player like Diego Roland, but I see it as a bit unrealistic. And then finally, to wrap up the video, we will talk about Preston and their current hunt for a manager. Now, currently the 3 favourites for the Preston North End job as I'm recording this video are Alex Neil, Uwe Rosler and Graham Alexander. So I'll leave a poll on this video so you guys can vote on who do you think will make the best manager for Preston out of those 3 candidates. Also as well, Norwich fans, let me know down below, what is your opinion of Alex Neil, and do you think he could still be a success in the Championship? Of course, his time at Norwich really didn't end well for him, but before that, you know, his first season with Norwich, he seemed to be pretty decent for them. So there you have it, guys. That will wrap it up for this episode of the Championship Transfer Rumour Roundup. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you do leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. Make sure you leave a comment in the comments down below as to what you think of all of these transfer rumours and any other transfers you've seen going on around the Championship. So guys, make sure you do subscribe for regular Championship content. Also as well, make sure you drop me a follow on Twitter, as I always tweet before I upload a video. Therefore, never miss a video ever again, guys. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.